Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the It's Hard to Explain podcast. We are back with another episode. Today, Adam's not here with us. He's doing, his own shit like a loser. But we took the time to go see a special movie that is kind of tit for tat on if it's good or not. We went and saw Captain America: Brave New World, and we're going to give our honest thoughts. So, first off, before we do that, boys, how are y'all doing today?
I wanted to stay silent as long as I could and just pretend like it was just you.
Make me seem schizophrenic.
Because, yeah, that's...
Just hear the buzzing of the refrigerator in the background.
And then Kagan just goes,
okay.
I agree, yeah.
All right,
I agree. Yeah, it's very good.
Very, very good. I'm doing good.
Quick
That's
side
all I
note,
gotta
we're drinking a lot of these Yoo-Hoo cookies and
We're
creams.
drinking Yoo-Hoo
They are
cookies and
awful.
cream. They're
Yeah.
really bad, but
I
they gotta
bought
go
'em.
somewhere.
I bought them, and I didn't
In
want to
the
waste
trash.
In my belly.
them. So we're just drinking them. I've got about 3 in front of me that I want to be drinking throughout this
They're about to be
episode.
squirting out your ass.
I have a tangent.
What's your tangent,
I told
Jake?
Kagan about this the other day, and if you don't agree with me, that's fine, but this is a tangent that I have and that I feel very passionate about.
Oh boy.
So, Yoo-Hoos and Sunny D, right?
Yeah.
Yoo-Hoos are called chocolate drink.
Yes.
It's chocolate milk.
No, it's a chocolate
No.
drink.
No,
It tastes like chocolate milk.
It's supposed to, yes, but it's not milk.
It pisses me off that it's called chocolate drink.
Because it's not milk. It's
not milk.
But it tastes like chocolate milk.
but
That's
that
my
doesn't
rebuttal.
mean it's milk.
Doesn't
matter
so
if
it's
it
not
tastes
literally
like it.
chocolate milk, but it tastes like chocolate milk.
That was the purpose.
But
Yeah.
The
chocolate
intent.
drink is stupid.
Yeah.
That's my whole thing.
I mean,
It's literally chocolate drink.
I
It's
get
dumb.
it, but you ever notice how it has like the consistency of water as to like milk? Whenever you drink chocolate milk, it's got kind of a thicker consistency, but Yoo-Hoo's got like a thinner consistency. That's why it's a drink and not like chocolate milk.
I literally can't tell the difference.
Because
bro.
they'd be like, why
It
is my
tastes-
chocolate milk thin? Like, why does it taste thin?
I hate thick chocolate milk. I'm a chocolate milk.
My chocolate milk has to be thick.
On God.
No.
I mean, like
It's
in
got to be thick and it's got to be chocolate.
have you seen like how they do chocolate milk in like Italy and France? It's literally just like a chocolate syrup sauce. It's like it's that thick.
Like
that it's-
Nesquik?
It's more like a dipper, a dipping sauce.
Hey,
for
Mabel.
like a croissant.
I'm sorry, that was stupid.
It
Hey,
was.
Mabel. But it's
My name's Dipper Pines.
it's not really a drink
Flip a
anymore. It's
dip
more like
dip.
just a dipping
Dog,
sauce for like
my
your
name's Dippy Fresh.
Shut the fuck up!
Something like that.
I'm explaining chocolate, hot chocolate. But onto your tangent with Sunny D.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
do
it just
this,
tastes
too.
like orange juice to me, and it's not.
It's orange drink.
And
That's what
it's stupid.
That's what it
I
is.
thought it was orange drink.
Me too.
Or, orange juice.
Me too.
No, it's orange drink,
But it
I,
isn't.
I think it's superior to orange juice. I'm just gonna say that.
I
right now.
disagree.
I love Sunny D.
I also
Sunny
disagree.
D tastes artificial to me.
Or, no shit. Yeah.
I found that out and makes sense now.
I
But
love,
yeah, that's my side tangent.
I love them preservatives and chemicals in my veins. Reminds me that I'm a consumer cow.
So spoilers for this movie, if you haven't seen it or you plan to see it. We're about to spoil everything about it.
Yep.
So you know how most reviews, like they give an honest review and then tell you if it's good or not. Yeah, I don't like that. So I think we should just say what we thought of it right off the bat, and
Like-
then we'll get into why we feel that way.
Like together in unison?
Yeah. So on the count of 3, did y'all like this movie or was it bad? 1, 2, 3. No.
All right.
It was not a good movie.
It was all right.
I disagree.
I don't think that it was great, but I also don't think it was horrible. I'm
I-
like somewhere in the middle.
I'd
I'm
say
somewhere
it
in
was,
the middle.
If it was on a 10, I'd rate it like a 5. It was
5
it
out of
was
10.
it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't the
It's
best
not
either.
the best thing Marvel can put out there. I mean,
No, like Deadpool and Wolverine was good. Where was that enthusiasm with this?
I do. Okay, so that was something that I was thinking about yesterday whenever we were watching it, and I had heard or seen reviews that were already on the internet, and people were saying it's soulless, it's a nothing burger, like Kagan said, of a movie.
It did feel
and
kind of like it did feel kind of soulless.
So-
like
the MCU. This is like what is it? Is it their 5th phase? What phase are we in?
I've lost
you're
count.
the MCU guy. You should know
I have
this,
lost
not
count.
me.
I have
mean,
no idea.
they've planned like 7 more.
I'm
I
pretty
think.
sure it's Phase 5, their multiverse saga or whatever.
Yeah.
And the MCU has been kind of in my opinion, mostly bad since No Way Home. No Way Home.
I'd say, yeah, No Way Home.
And then they've had hit or misses since No Way Home, I think.
yeah.
The TV shows have also been hit or miss. I liked Moon Knight. Ethan liked Moon Knight.
I
Jake
love
didn't care
Moon
for
Knight.
Moon Knight.
I love the last 2 episodes of Moon Knight.
She-Hulk was dog shit. I think everyone agrees on that one. I've heard
The only good thing about that show was it introduced mutants.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed reviews on Agatha All Along. I haven't seen
too.
it, but
I haven't either.
I've heard it's good. I've heard it's terrible. It's kind of, but it's also kind of like you can't really take reviews to heart anymore, because if you go on the internet, you'll see like 900 people say it's dog shit because of this, and then you'll see people like, oh, I liked it because it was just a Marvel movie. I like watching Marvel movies, and it's like, well, that's a fair standpoint too. But like, was it a good watch or not? Because I don't want to waste my time watching something that's going to be dog shit.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
also subjective too. Like, were you entertained? Yeah, maybe, but was it like
Objectively
was
good
it objectively
story-wise?
a good, a well-made film? You
And
know,
I
that's
think that's how Jake has always been with the approach to movies, is because I've been like, he's like, you want to go see this movie? And I was like, I don't know. I've seen reviews on it, and it's not saying it's very good. And he's like, well, we'll just have to see when we get there. So I guess Jake is kind of like, well, my opinion might be different because it's subjective to how you feel. Like,
Yeah.
Oh.
I liked Moon Knight because I like Moon Knight as a character. I thought it was an interesting way
Random
of going-
bullshit. Go.
Yeah. He's just a schizo, and it's funny.
so. From my standpoint, is I go into movies very open-minded because I like slow burn movies. I like long movies. I love movies.
I don't like slow movies.
So-
I gotta be entertained right off the bat.
That's okay. That's okay. I mean, it's different for everybody. But my point that I was making earlier is I saw all these reviews, and they were pretty mixed, mostly bad. And I was thinking about the MCU in general and how most of all the projects are taken by different directors. And different
Yes.
directors have different filming styles. They have different type of perspectives and cinematography and all this stuff.
Yep.
And I think it's been very mismanaged.
I agree.
Since No Way Home.
I feel like the Russo brothers, are they the ones that oversee all the Marvel projects?
No, they did Endgame. That's Kevin Feige. That's the producer of the MCU or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
He's like the CEO or whatever. He has the final say and everything.
What's the guy's name? John.
John Favreau?
Yeah.
He was involved in the Iron Man movies. He's too busy with Star Wars.
I was going to say, he's pretty good at what he does, too.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's a mixed bag of directors in the
Yeah.
MCU. You have really great ones like Sean Levy, who did Deadpool and Wolverine.
Didn't James Gunn do Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes,
Gunn
that is
did-
my favorite Marvel trilogy
Yeah,
to date.
people booed him out of Marvel because he made insensitive tweets like several
16 years ago.
Yeah.
They were dug up.
But he was hired back, and in he wrapped up the Guardian trilogy.
And now he's the head of the DCEU. or
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and
DCU.
that's now all the DC projects are like, they're good, but they're also a good amount of goofy too. Like Creature Commandos, me and Jake watched that, and it was goofy
very
as shit,
good.
but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's got that James Gunn brand of humor.
Yeah,
where it's just
good.
It's
I
just
like James
goofy.
Gunn.
But that's my point is you have a mixed bag of directors in the MCU. So, and that's also subjective as well. You might really like M. Night Shyamalan and some
Those
others.
words have never been spoken.
But that's an example. Someone may really like him, but
I was
he
gonna
might not
say-
be your cup of tea.
I know M. Night has a very hit or miss history in movies. Some movies he's made are really good, and then there's Avatar.
I like Glass and Split. Never
They
saw
were-
Unbreakable.
They were goofy, but
Oh, yeah, they were goofy.
enjoyable to watch,
Yes.
but they were goofy as shit.
Adam just felt a great disturbance in the force.
Yeah,
His
he did.
name was uttered.
Yeah. So
And
that
fucking
was the
despises
point
M.
that
Night
I was trying to
Shyamalan.
make, and I don't know who directed this one, Brave New World. I don't know,
It said it. I can't remember.
but I could tell that they were trying to go for a Winter Soldier type tone, which I love. Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That's like probably my favorite MCU movie, and you could
Yeah.
tell that they were trying to get that tone back. From
That's my
that
sister's favorite movie.
film. Yeah,
Soldier?
It was
Yeah.
like a political thriller, and I heard Kagan say something that he saw the other day about the movie, that it was trying to be political. Brave New World was trying to be political, but never really reached.
It was trying to be political because, you saw it with the whole adamantium, like, they were trying to do a treaty, and then they were like, well, we're going to get to it first. And they're like, well, not if we do. And then they had a brief, like, fight about it. Mm-hmm. You can tell they wanted to get more political with it, but they also didn't want to get...
They didn't go all the way.
They didn't commit to it. It's like, if you're going to do politics... This is how I feel. If you're going to do politics, you either are all in or you just don't do politics.
I agree.
You just got to go
beat around the bush. Yeah.
Just got to be like, oh, well, they kind of are fighting over these resources. It's like, just if they're fighting over the resources, like, make it a big plot point that they're like I think what it should have done is, instead of starting out as them wanting to do a treaty like they do in the movie, where they're like, we're going to do a treaty and share all this adamantium, to, like, at first it starts with them discovering it and being like on a verge of, like, war over it, and then closer towards the end they kind of come together and form a treaty and be like, hey, why don't we just share this, guys?
Yeah, from what I saw, well, before I move on to that point, Ethan, did you see who directed it?
Yeah, his name is Julius Ona. He did the Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh, really?
He did a Cloverfield movie?
Damn.
He's done a show, I think it's called I don't know if it's a show or not, but it's called Loose.
Never heard of it.
The Girl is in Trouble, Bad Genius.
I haven't heard of this guy.
Samo Lives, Brilliance with...
I'm on my second You.
I forget his name. Oh my God, this is terrible. The guy that smacked...
Will Smith?
Will Smith, yeah.
Will Smith smacked Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, the slap. But from what I understand, I haven't seen any of the shows, and I don't know if it addresses this or not, but in the movie, we're kind of just thrown into the aftermath of the nations fighting over adamantium.
Yeah.
We don't know, like... We didn't
see any conflict.
Right, so... and
this
also,
movie officially introduced adamantium too, right?
Yes, to the MCU. To Earth 616. Yes.
I mean, technically Eternals did, because that's where the
Yeah,
Celestial comes
But it
from.
wasn't really, like, mentioned.
Yeah.
No, nowhere in Eternals. So if this movie calls back to Eternals, and basically the whole plot is the government fighting over adamantium, which is a new material that is found on a dead celestial in the ocean, the Indian Ocean, I think.
Yeah.
And it's Tiamat from Eternals. So in that movie...
I actually like that movie.
I do too. I forget who
seen
exactly tried to resurrect Tiamat.
It wasn't
I don't
resurrect.
remember. You might know.
The whole plot point was that planets with life were like eggs for the Celestials.
Oh, yes.
The life on the planet was what fed the Celestial inside, and it's what made them grow.
Okay.
And once it grows, the planet dies, and they're able to go and continue the fucking cycle.
And if the Celestial was, like, completely erect, I guess, it would destroy Earth.
Yeah, it would
So
consume
it was like halfway.
Earth. Like it would be an asteroid field now.
So he was just kind of poking out of the ocean there. So, and apparently he's made of adamantium. So the government...
He also sacrificed himself.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, yeah.
And there you
He
go.
didn't want to be born. He committed suicide.
So if you haven't seen that movie, you might be a little confused in this one. And that's just where the MCU is nowadays, is if you're not caught up on all the TV shows and all the movies, they're going to cross over in ways that you probably don't understand if you haven't seen everything else. And that is a Herculean task.
Project,
dude.
yeah.
It also connects to Falcon and Winter Soldier, because, John Walker is Captain America in that show. And then he's, like, corrupt, and they're like, hey, we're going to stop you. And he's like, hey, I'm just a guy, man. I'm just trying to be Captain America.
I wouldn't say he's corrupt. He doesn't have, like,
he killed
evil motives.
He killed a dude.
He got mad with power.
Yeah, he killed a dude, and they were like, Steve didn't do that. It's like, he probably has killed
He wasn't Steve Rogers.
Yeah. They're like, you probably killed a couple people with that shield, dog. I ain't gonna...
Yeah, so this, what was I going to say? You were talking about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, yes. So in that show, at the end of that show, Sam becomes Captain America. He takes the mantle of Captain America. This is like his first solo movie. But to me, it kind of read as a sequel to The Incredible Hulk and kind of a spin-off of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I disagree.
More so than like a solo Captain America movie.
Hey, I'm gonna disagree too because Red Hulk was only in it for like the last not even 10
I'd
minutes
say
of the movie.
10 minutes.
I'd say like probably like 5. He wasn't in it very long.
I'm not talking about Red Hulk. I'm talking about the characters. Like Betty was in it for a minute, but she was mentioned a lot. That was Harrison Ford's character's whole motive was his daughter, and then the leader shows up again, and he's a big part of the movie. And a lot of plot points from The Incredible Hulk are tied up here or continued in this movie. And I feel like it's more so about those characters than it is about Sam. That's where my
But it was
head is coming
called
from.
Captain America.
Oh, I know. I know.
One thing I didn't like is that
Now that you explain it, it makes more sense.
several times they mention Sam mentions like, should I have taken the serum, or like I should have taken the serum, and Bucky shows up for a brief minute. It's like, no, you shouldn't have taken the serum. And then later he gets his ass beat by the Hulk, and he's like, Bucky's a fucking liar. I should have
Bucky's full of shit.
Yeah, so
that
that was a big question.
Why would you not take the serum?
Whenever this movie was announced and the trailers came out, because the villain was supposed to be Red Hulk and Sam was supposed to fight him, and people
Yeah.
were like, "But he doesn't have the super soldier serum, so how is he going to
How
fight
is that gonna
a Hulk?"
work?
And it's just his
Wakandan tech.
Yeah, it's
just-
vibranium.
It doesn't even show them give it to him. He just has it. Like
He's got like
it's-
vibranium wings, I think, and
Yeah,
They absorb the
kinetic force.
kinetic force. Yeah.
But they're like, it was a gift from the Wakandans. Like, are we just not gonna see that? Like, are we not gonna see that happen?
Right.
What's
A lot
his,
of things
What's his
happen
sister's
off-screen.
name? Shuri.
the
The smart one.
sister?
Shuri.
Black
Shuri.
Panthers.
What,
Yes.
T'Challa's? Yeah, Shuri. But we
I'd
never
like to see
it
her at
happen.
least making those in her little laboratory or whatever.
So
Yeah,
a
or
lot
something.
of these things are done off screen.
Yeah.
But also, why he didn't take the serum, dude? If I was given the chance, like the offer, I would have. I would have been like, pump
I
me up.
get
watched.
why.
I listened to the first Captain America movie, and what's his name? The doctor, the German doctor that created the serum.
I can't remember, but I know who you're talking about.
I think they're trying to follow that pattern of where it's not just given. Like you kind of have to earn it.
Well, the way they make it sound is it seems like he was offered the serum. Like they offered it to him. He's like, should I have taken
Okay.
it? Like implying that they gave him a choice.
I have a question.
Was it?
How would he have gotten the serum? Who
Well,
has it?
remember in Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think there's people that were synthesizing it, weren't they? That was like the whole
You're
plot.
completely right. I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
the terrorist
Yes,
group.
yes.
They were like
Synthesizing like
great value
like a
super soldiers.
knockoff.
Yeah, okay. So he would have taken that, I guess.
or maybe I never finished that show.
I did,
I
but I
did.
can't remember it.
I remember that's what I remember is like the terrorists would like, making an off-brand Kroger great value type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Because I remember Bucky went to punch one of them and they just like caught his fist and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of beat his ass, crazy style.
Crazy style. I understand why he didn't take the serum. Like, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
Because the whole message is like, you don't need this to be this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's the whole message.
But also, Captain America was a super soldier. I feel like that's what kind of made him.
But
Yes, he
what
had-
made
he's-
him Captain America wasn't the serum.
I
It
was-
was,
I was-
the character.
I was getting to that.
Okay.
I was gonna say, but that's not why they chose him to be Captain America. He had the heart and like the courage to prove that he
I'm sure he's going to get the serum eventually.
is what they needed to be. Because whenever he was selfless. That's why they chose him, because he jumped on the grenade in Captain America,
Yep.
even though it was a decoy. And they're like, that guy, grab his ass. We're gonna inject him full of serum.
I see it kind of like, I know it's not the same thing, but he isn't Steve Rogers, and it's kind of the same. I think of it like how Miles Morales is Spider-Man. Yes, he has like the radioactive bite or whatever, but he's a different character.
He's
you
not-
know?
He's got a different vibe.
He's got a
He's
different
Spider-Man.
character growth.
Right.
He's Spider-Man, but he's not Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Sam is Captain America, but he's not
Not-
Captain America. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
He's a new version
Yes.
of Captain
It's
America.
like Miles is Spider-Man, but he's not Peter Parker.
yeah. So that's kind of how I look at it, and I'm glad that he doesn't have the serum.
I mean, and they point that out in the movie too. Harrison Ford's character says, "You're not Steve Rogers."
yeah.
Yeah.
On Harrison Ford for a second, I really liked him in this
I did
movie.
too. I think he did great.
Who he played Thunderbolt Ross, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross.
Yep.
And he replaced the actor that
I
played
was
him
thinking maybe
in The
he
Incredible
did.
Hulk, Iron Man, and in Civil War.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of this actor, but he passed away not too long ago.
I didn't know he had passed away. I thought he
William
was just
Hurt.
recast.
William Hurt. Yeah, he
Yeah.
passed away.
I think that's why they recast.
And they did recasted his character as with Harrison Ford. And I thought that it got really meta a lot of times in the movie because he kept saying that he changed. You know, he's trying to change for Betty. I was like, yeah, you have. Like, you're a
Yeah.
completely different. It's like you're a completely different person.
Yeah.
Because you are.
Do you think it would have been just as good if Harrison Ford hadn't played the part?
No.
No.
No. Because, and I'm not saying that the other guy isn't a good actor, but his total MCU screen time is probably 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
He's hardly in Civil War. He's in the post-credit scene of Iron Man, I think. And then in The Incredible Hulk, I think he has a lot more screen time. But Harrison Ford just, he seemed like he was having fun.
Can
Yeah.
I give my honest opinion about Harrison Ford?
No.
In this
This
movie
is-
or in general?
In general, this is not a rag on Harrison
Yeah.
Ford because I like him as an actor. I feel like he's too old to be acting. Like, I don't know. Just watching him in the movie, it looked like he was struggling to do a lot of things. Just,
That was him acting.
I don't. No, I mean, not just in that. Like after he delivers some lines, he'd be like he's out of breath, and it's like
How old is Harrison Ford?
he's like 80, isn't he?
He's old.
He's old. That's what
He
I,
is old.
That's
Be
what
a
I mean.
dark day when he dies.
Or like
know.
whenever he like transformed back to normal, you see him like staggering, and I get that,
82.
I get that was like probably acting because he just transformed
Yeah.
from like the best. I just was looking at it, and that's why I was laughing whenever he transformed. I was like, he's so old, man.
He was born in 1942.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, he's so old, and I love Harrison Ford,
Yeah,
but
he's
I think
awesome.
I think he needs to retire. Not
Well,
for
he took this job. He is in the MCU now because for the sole reason that he thought it was fun. He said it seemed like it would be fun. So now he's in the MCU.
I don't doubt being in an
Yeah.
MC movie would probably be fun.
I wouldn't, if I was given a position in the MCU, I wouldn't want it to be like anything important. I just want
Yeah.
to be like a cool background character.
And to
I'd
be
wanna
fair,
be like a
to be-
villain, like a one-off villain.
To be fair, it is kind of perfect for Harrison Ford to play this character because yes, he is the Red Hulk, but it's all CG. So
yeah. He didn't really
it's
have
fine.
to like
Yeah.
do anything
Yeah.
physical.
Yeah.
right. Also, speaking of Red Hulk, what did you guys think of him as a character?
I thought he looked
in the movie?
great.
He looked awesome.
He did look awesome. Yeah.
But I wish there was just more screen time of him.
I felt like he was smaller than Hulk. Like I don't know. I
No.
may just.
I'd say he
Apparently-
was on the same size.
Apparently, the Hulk in the MCU gets bigger as each movie progresses. I don't know if that's true.
Really?
Oh no, he was pretty small in Endgame.
Yeah, but he was bigger.
He was
in-
like a
That
space-
wasn't Hulk. That was Professor Hulk.
Yeah, but he was like a space marine in that one. That's like he was like 7 feet tall.
but he was
Just-
huge in Ragnarok.
no, he was big.
That
in
was
Ragnarok.
Hulk.
Right, but he
There's a
wasn't that.
they meshed the personalities.
Yes, but I don't think he was that big in, say, the first Avengers. You know, I don't remember. I don't know. It's just what I've heard.
I do like that Red Hulk is like heat. Like he is.
Oh, yeah,
he
yeah,
generates
he's
a lot
different.
of heat, which I thought was cool. Because
The
like,
angrier he gets, the hotter he
Did
gets.
you see the whenever they were shooting at him, the bullets just melted.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
It
or
was
like
cool.
all the clothes had like singe marks on them
Mm-hmm.
from. Yeah, I thought that was cool. I thought he looked great too. Like the CGI on his face.
yeah,
looked
he
good.
looked really good.
He looked really good. I'm not. Yeah,
Mm.
like I said, I'm not ragging on Harrison Ford at all. He looked. I just didn't think he looked very well. Like
Are you talking about that scene at the very end whenever he transforms back into a human and his body's just kind of.
He's just,
You can tell he's old.
Yeah.
you can tell he
well,
looks.
that and like when he's on the exercise machine.
Oh, yeah,
in the plane.
yeah.
I was like, this is like watching my grandpa. Like, dude, he's
yeah.
he's old.
He's old. He's meant to be portrayed as old.
Ethan, do you
I don't know if I guess I'm not portraying what I'm saying very well.
No, I understand. I understand.
I
It's
guess
just he's an old guy.
that's what I mean. Is you can
He's an
just
old
tell
guy.
that he's old.
Right.
I know he's a good actor. He's a very good actor. But you can just tell that the age is getting to him. Is what I guess I'm trying to say.
My question is, they recasted the other guy for Harrison Ford, but Harrison Ford he's getting up
He's
there in age.
old.
So how long are they going to keep Red Hulk around? Is he
I
going
don't.
to die? Are they
I
gonna
feel like
recast him again.
I feel like Red Hulk is not going to be a permanent member. I feel like that was just kind of a.
Well, you can't just introduce him and then never. Well, they did
I
that
mean,
with White Vision.
I was going to say they did that with Scar too.
Well, White Vision's coming back in Vision Quest
he is
in his
That's
own
still a
TV show.
thing?
Yes.
They did that in Scar too with Scar, Hulk's son.
Oh my! Scar was introduced in the MCU in She-Hulk, and he looks bad.
He has a son.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Apparently on Sakaar
Mm-hmm.
he had a son. Whenever he was on Sakaar, he had a son, and his son's name is Scar.
I don't think they've handled the Hulk.
He's got
in the MCU very well.
He's got a fuck ass haircut, but
yeah.
Yeah, he was like an in credit.
See the things you miss if you don't watch She-Hulk.
Oh, that physically hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like I still want like A-Bomb. He's my favorite from like you remember that show that was just like the Hulk's
Yes.
Hulk Agents of
Smash. Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite character was A-Bomb because
He's like a blue abomination.
Looking into the lore of him, he's so fucking powerful, dude. It's crazy.
You said they were going to keep him around as a permanent member, but like, I had a question that I don't know if either one of you can answer because I have no idea. The Thunderbolts that's coming out, their whole team is named after Thunderbolt Ross, is it not? Or is that just a coincidence?
I think so.
That's a good
His middle name
question.
isn't Thunderbolt. That's like a nickname.
No, it's a nickname. I understand, but why is their team name the
Maybe
Thunderbolts?
he's the one that like
Maybe he sanctioned it. But they argue over the name in the trailer.
My
We
guess
can't say that.
My guess is Harrison Ford is going to be in Thunderbolts.
Maybe.
he may make an appearance.
Yeah.
But also, I was gonna say, fuck, I just lost it. Oh wait, no, I didn't. He was talking about reforming the Avengers. So my thought was maybe that's kind of the route he was going with them was that those would be like the
new Avengers?
yeah. Because whenever he asked Sam was kind of but maybe he already like kind of did it in secret.
Where's Nick Fury in all this?
He's a Skrull, remember?
He had his own show, Secret Invasion. I never finished the last 2 episodes, but it explains where he's been. But I think after Winter Soldier or Age of Ultron, every time you see Nick Fury in the MCU, he's a Skrull. And he's been up in space with the Skrulls doing bullshit up there. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the things you miss when not watching. I haven't seen Secret Invasion.
And apparently Rhodey is also a Skrull that was revealed in Secret Invasion. I don't know since when, but Rhodey was a Skrull. War Machine.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Secret Invasion was not liked
Yeah.
very well. It also one reason is because their intro used AI generated imaging for like background, or like even some of the like there was a scene where Nick Fury's in like a chair with a gun. All that's green screen. None of that is an actual
damn.
room. That's all just a green
I
screen.
don't know if that's one of the projects that was filmed during COVID or not.
It might have been.
Maybe the quality dip was because of COVID.
I feel like the quality dip in MCU stuff was after Endgame because that was supposed to be like the big final thing.
I think
I
had
think
the theory
after that,
they just didn't have a plan.
They
for after
realized they're
Endgame.
like, well, fuck. If we stop making movies, we're not going to have any money. So we still got to crap out something. But they're like, well, since Endgame did so good, I feel like if we just slap Marvel on something, it'll sell because it's Marvel.
it's like they mad-libbed heroes and plot lines.
It's gonna get butts and seats, man.
I mean, it
If
does.
it's got Marvel and like superheroes, it's gonna make money.
Hey, you know what they say? Any exposure is exposure. Like, good or bad, it gets people talking about it.
Yeah.
So, with this movie, I went in thinking that they were gonna have too many villains and it was gonna crowd the plot, but I think they actually handled it pretty well because you had Sidewinder and the what are they called?
Serpents.
Serpent Society, the leader, Red Hulk, and that might have been it. But I thought it was gonna be a lot, you know. But I think they paced the villains pretty well.
I'm gonna say this: I didn't like Giancarlo Esposito in this movie.
You didn't?
I love him as an actor. I did not like him in this movie.
Why not?
He just was such a nothing burger of a character. He was just kind of there to move the plot along.
I
He
feel like
wasn't
I love him too, but I feel like every character he plays in anything is just like
It's the same
Gus
guy. Yeah.
from Breaking Bad.
I got vibes of
His
Plus-
character's like that in The Boys.
Plus, did you see how blue his eyes were in that? He had some fucking blue eyes.
well, I think he's Sidewinder. I think is a super villain in the comics. I'm not too familiar with him. I don't know if
I mean,
what
I
they're gonna
think
do.
he's like Sam's like arch nemesis.
I don't know much about him, so maybe he's going to be turned into some other
Long-term villain.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I love that they don't just kill off their villains anymore in MCU movies in the first movie that they appear in because they've wasted some pretty good villains doing that.
Yeah.
Ultron. I didn't
You're
like.
right.
I didn't-
I was upset when Iron Man, what's his name? The first Iron Man movie, the villain, Warmonger. I liked him. I
Yeah.
liked his suit.
Dude,
I had a toy of his
okay,
suit.
I did too.
so it's warranted. Their death is warranted if it makes sense in context with the movie, but if it's just to oh, we beat the bad guy in the end. That sucks.
We're
So like Ego at the end of Guardians 2, he dies in the same movie he's introduced in. That's fine. It makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
And then
And Star-Lord lost his godlike powers because of it. Because he was like, if I die, you're going to lose, your powers. And he's like, okay.
Okay.
I didn't know I had him for most
he may
of my
have
life.
been your daddy, boy, but he wasn't your father.
He may have been your father,
Yondu,
boy.
my beloved.
characters like Malekith and Ronan are kind of just fodder.
Yeah.
They were nothing villains.
Ronan
they really
is
sucked.
the hammer guy.
Yes,
with
from the
ship.
first Guardians.
Yeah. Ronan
And
the
then
Accuser.
Malekith is from Thor the Dark World. And
yeah.
I liked Curse, the side villain, more than the main villain. Curse was badass. That's just what they've...
Malakath was just a fucking dark ear, but
Yeah.
knife
He's a
ear.
dark elf.
Knife ear.
Yeah.
Dark knife ear. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I feel like they've handled villains a lot better in the recent MCU.
Continuity wise, I agree.
Yeah.
That way they just can.
I feel like they wasted Ultron because Ultron, in
Ultron
like the comics,
was a waste.
in media is like one of the big. He's like Thanos level big
Yeah.
bad. He's a problem, and they just
He
got
should
rid
have
of him.
persisted.
Yeah,
But Vision apparently killed the last one.
I was gonna say, but he's an algorithm, isn't he? So like,
Yeah, but he had multiple bodies, and Vision hunted them all down.
yeah, I feel like that was
Because
wasted.
Vision was originally going to be Ultron.
Yeah, I was meant to be beautiful. Yeah, they would look up into the skies and see hope. Dude, I loved Ultron so much.
What's Robert California? That's his name, right?
No,
What? Who?
What's his name?
Robert California. Who are you thinking about? Huh?
the guy that played Ultron.
John Nebraska. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that's his name, Robert California.
Who? What does he do? Why are you mentioning him?
Are you talking
Someone
about
that voiced
fucking
Ultron?
Are you talking about James Spader?
That's his name. Okay.
John California.
I swear his name was Robert California.
Robert California.
Oh, that's his character from The Office.
the founder of California.
I'm the fucking Lizard King. You don't even know my real name. You want to start a street fight with me? Bring it on.
Yeah, no, it's James.
He's a good actor.
James,
That's what I was trying to say.
James Spader. Yeah, I think he did a good job as
He did.
Ultron too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I screwed that all up. Butcher.
Do you think that Sam is going to get his trilogy, or do you think this was a one-off?
One thing I saw with Falcon is that the reason people don't like this movie is because Falcon is a side character. He's not a main character.
In
Are
the
you talking-
comics, he becomes Captain America, but I
thought-
I
no, I
agree.
thought
I,
Winter
think they
Soldier
need to
became-
be. No,
I thought there was Winter Soldier. That
I think
became-
there's
different versions.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
duh,
like a multiverse thing, yeah.
But fucking, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're just hating because it's Anthony Mackie."
because he's
and
a black man.
Well, it's like no, that's not at all it. It's like Falcon.
I hate that argument.
It's like Falcon. It's like it has nothing to do with his race. It's just a lot of people said Falcon is a side character. That's why it didn't really work. And I thought it was fine. I mean,
His character has developed over the years.
I was gonna
so,
say.
like,
Plus, he got big fucking shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Being
Yes.
Captain America.
Yeah,
Because
Chris
Captain
Evans-
America has been doing that shit since what, like the Nazis?
the 40s.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't want to say it incorrect time.
He
frame.
was 110 years old.
Yeah. One thing I didn't like is the little Israeli woman. I forget her name.
who was she,
was a
supposed
Black
to be?
Widow.
I
She
didn't.
was an ex-widow, yes. But
I-
is she supposed to be a specific character from the comics?
I didn't like her. I hated her. She was annoying.
Wow. Okay. I didn't think she was that bad.
I did.
Okay, that is something you just reminded me of something that I wanted to rant about.
Oh,
Actually,
really?
yes. So have you guys heard about about like superhero fatigue, right? All Marvel movies are the same. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, in setup,
I
yes.
didn't get this criticism until this movie. I've heard so many people say that they're tired of the Marvel quips. Just the jokes, the dialogue. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
And, yeah, kind of childish.
That's going to hurt.
Yeah, shit like that. I didn't get that criticism until this movie because the dialogue, specifically Sam's dialogue, was really quippy. And
That's
it
one
was
thing,
annoying.
That's one thing I want to say is I hated the dialogue in this movie.
Yeah.
It was
Some of it was
not-
fine. Some of it
not
was
great.
fine. Some of it was fine. But
Well, like-
overall,
Whenever Sam spoke, sometimes it seemed like you could tell he was reading off a script. Like
Yeah.
he sounded very
Oh my god,
robotic.
dude!
So I think that's another reason I didn't like the. What was her name? Hurt or something like that. The lady, the little black ex-Black Widow.
I don't know
I forget her name.
what Ethan.
She also just wasn't
in
a
the
very
comics. Her name is Sabra, the Black Widow character we're talking about.
Yeah.
She's a villain.
Who is she?
She's Jewish.
Okay.
She's got a Jewish costume.
Okay.
It's the Jewish star, and it's blue and white. She's a villain.
And what's her villain name?
Sabra.
Sabra?
Sabra, the super villain.
Oh, okay. Kagan, what were you going to say?
I didn't think she was a very good actor either. Like, I get she also had an accent, but even then, her just.
I enjoyed her.
Did you not see her goofy ass walk? She walked with her feet outwards like
Yeah,
this. I don't know.
I enjoyed her.
I didn't. I thought she felt too forced.
This is something that kind of pissed me off. The exposition dump in this movie is egregious.
On God.
Because after we just finished watching what they're about to talk about, specifically Sam, he's like, "Oh, so let me get this straight. You're doing this and this to this guy over here, which made this guy do this." Yeah, we put that together already. You're not. The exposition is awful.
It's like I already know.
Yeah,
this.
you did not have to say that at all.
Like Smiling Friends, I already said yes.
Yeah.
I misspoke. She's not a villain.
Oh.
She like an anti-hero.
She's an anti-hero. She's hang on. Let me word this right.
Okay, well, while you do that,
She fiercely supports Jewish and mutant rights in the comic universe.
so she is a villain, but
She aligns herself with Magneto.
Oh.
I wouldn't say he's a villain. I'd say he's an anti-villain.
he's got a gray
Okay.
area.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know who she was supposed to be in this
She's
movie.
got superpowers.
What's her superpower?
Super strength and super speed.
Okay.
That's one gripe I have. And Jake said, well, that's just like what a lot of powers do. Have you noticed that a lot of characters in Marvel, it's like, oh, this character, what are their powers? Super strength, super speed, super durability. It's like, wow, like the 12 other people like that I just learned
To be
about.
fair, a lot of the Marvel heroes have those exact same powers.
I'm saying it's just a lot of copy and paste.
Kind of like Smash Bros. And Fire Emblem characters. They all use swords. Like,
To me, it's just like I like characters that have unique abilities. Like My Hero Academia is.
Quirks are
I know it's an anime, but it's superhero
Superheroes,
based.
yeah.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Each character had a unique power to them. It didn't feel like they were just copy and paste, unless it was like a genetic, like Endeavor and Todoroki. But that was his father, and they even state that your parents. You either inherit a combination of your parents' abilities or one ability of your parents. So in that it makes sense. But every character had like a unique ability. Like Bakugo's parents, his mom sweated glycerin, and his dad had acidic like sweat, which combined in him creating explosions.
I agree in that a lot of the characters in Marvel are just super soldiers with outliers being mutants. Spider-Man and who am I thinking about? I don't know. Maybe just the mutants and
That's
Spider-Man.
also another thing I can't stand is the racism towards mutants who are born with powers.
I don't think they're going to do that
Well,
with the new reboot.
No, what I'm saying is they've always treated mutants like they were
Like they're garbage.
like they're garbage. It's
Yeah.
like because they were born with these powers, but there's people who get them willingly or get them in some accident, and they're just like, "Oh, go superhero!" It's like you realize I can't control this, right? I was born with this. I didn't ask for this.
Yeah.
And you're treating me like some social pariah because of something I didn't ask for. But this guy, he fucking injects himself with gamma rays, and he's a hero. Whoa!
Goes on a mad tear through New York.
Destroys everything, and he's like, "Woo, Hulk, we love you." It's like that dude's a fucking psycho.
I did notice. Go ahead.
That's my rant on that. Is
but
I've-
he's suicide.
I've always
What?
He tried to kill himself.
I've always hated
Oh.
how they treat mutants compared to people who either willingly gave themselves powers or some accidents. Like you praise these people that did it on accident, but you hate these people that were born with it without a choice. It's kind of just something they were given.
I think it's just Marvel's way of showing racism, honestly.
Yeah.
I think it's a very piss poor excuse of doing it.
It's a very cut and dry, like very surface
well.
level.
You were
I think
born
they're
with
going
this.
to approach it through a different
You were
avenue
born with this
go
power. We
around.
hate you.
Yeah.
I did notice that this movie, like many MCU movies, follows the same structure. Of course, you have build up, the introduction of the front end, introduce your characters, have that. I fucking knew there was going to be like it's Falcon, so of course there was going to be like an aerial battle or whatever. I knew it was going to open with
Air
that.
Force.
And then you have the exposition in the middle and shit, and then you have the final act that's the big fight. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind it in this movie. I like the big fight.
Yeah, I did think I liked the way that Sam used the shield with the wings in tandem.
Yes.
I thought he was very creative with that. Like creating the wings in like an X shape with the shield on top to create like a bulwark that was just kind of like an impenetrable defense.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. I think Sam is doing a good job filling in for Captain America. He's doing the best he can with what he has.
I agree.
Do you guys think that they showed enough of Sam being just a human? Or do you feel like he should have struggled more?
I feel like he should have struggled more.
I feel like they should have given him more like criticism or comparison to Captain America. Because the only person that says it is President Ross.
Yep.
And everyone else is just like, hey, go Cap, go. There wasn't enough of you're not Captain America. And I feel like they should have. I feel like they should have added more of that, of him struggling to come to terms that he cannot be Steve Rogers. There will never be another Steve Rogers. But
touch on that a little bit, but I agree that they should have done it more.
What
like
he
gets
needs
his
to
ass
stop
kicked a little bit.
He needs to stop trying to be Steve Rogers and be his own Captain America. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's something they should have delved in more than just everyone accepting him as Captain America. Be like, you go, Cap, woo!
I mean, he almost died whenever he got his head almost squished.
Well, that's not what I mean. I'm talking about like the people, like
I'm thinking more like physical trial.
I'm talking about like more like how the public perceived him.
Oh, gotcha.
They were all just like Captain America. It wasn't just like they were just accepting right away, is what it seemed. And I may be missing something with a show or something, but that's just how it felt
really
to
just
me.
the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier when he's on like live television on national TV and he gives that speech. And
I don't know. I feel like they could have delved into that some more. His
Yeah,
like
I agree.
struggles of accepting that he's not the same as Steve Rogers, but that he can still be Captain America by fulfilling the values and virtues of what Captain America stood for.
I agree.
Yeah.
But Bucky did make a good point that he represents something different from what Steve did.
Yeah, he's approaching it with his own unique quality.
Yeah, he said that Steve gave everybody something to be hopeful for, and
they lived in a different world.
And that Sam is something for people to aspire to.
Yeah.
So it's a different message there.
Yeah.
But I agree with what Kagan's saying. I feel like they should have honed in a little more on him taking
Captain
the
America.
mantle and him struggling because he's just a guy,
Yeah.
He's not,
Super.
But he had been training with a super soldier, Isaiah.
I feel like they gave him an advantage because he did meet the physical qualifications to become Captain America, too. So did Walker.
Yeah.
He literally worked his way up without the serum.
Oh, what'd you think about Isaiah in this movie? I like Isaiah Bradley.
I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like he was a super soldier, but the way he was treated compared to Steve Rogers was
because he was black.
Is that the reason?
Yes.
I know that
I think they say that in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, don't they, Ethan?
Yeah. Because
Like,
he was
didn't-
black, yeah.
They didn't want a black man to represent America.
America's
so-
ideals.
Yeah.
This was like heavily during the civil rights movement.
And wasn't he the original super soldier? Mm-hmm. Like, they experimented on him. It worked, but they're like, we gotta find a different person.
It's like-
we planned on you to die.
But
Yeah.
you're black, and we can't have that.
That's awful.
But they did have.
It's
they
true.
used him.
Oh, I know.
They didn't dispose of him. They used him,
They experimented on him further and kept him locked away.
and they did deploy him on missions.
Wasn't Steve the first super soldier though?
No, Isaiah was, but Steve came later.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense though, timeline wise, because
Isaiah is as old as Captain America.
he's 110.
Yeah, he was in World War II.
And Kagan and I were talking about this yesterday, but it was more of a question. I didn't have a decisive answer. Does the super serum extend your lifespan?
It does give you regenerative. Oh my God! You know what I'm trying to say.
Regenerative. I can't even say it. Regenerative.
Regenerative?
Regenerative. Yeah, regenerative.
Okay. whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Of course.
It does repair his cells, and it prevents him from dying a lot sooner
Yes.
than...
What I looked up was I looked it up, and it says the serum slows or stops aging by regenerating healthy cells.
Yeah, there you go. So he can't get drunk.
I will say, I appreciate when my superhero movies have like slower moments and more heartfelt scenes. I don't think that this movie did any of that for me. The closest that I got was
Joaquin.
What?
Whenever he was talking to Joaquin.
Oh no, but I have something on that in a second. But the most emotion that I felt watching this was when Sam was talking to Isaiah in the prison.
Yeah.
And Isaiah was like, "I'm gonna die in here," and then we don't see him again until the end of the movie, and then he's out and he's happy, and it kind of just undercut what they were trying to do there. But I love, like in Guardians, you have those super impactful emotional moments, like when Rocket is about to die, and
Peter's
3,
screaming,
or
no!
when Peter's screaming in 3 when Rocket's about to die, or in 2 when Yondu dies.
Yeah.
Like I fucking like whenever I think about the MCU and I think about emotion, the Guardians is what I think of, because those movies are filled with emotion. I love it. That's one of the main reasons I love those movies.
Those movies have to be by far the best, in my opinion. The Guardians trilogy.
They are up there for me.
Yeah. They're my favorite.
And I feel like that's what the MCU is missing. It lacks a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And I get where people are coming from with
Same
saying,
with those. I mean, the Spider-Man movies, the new ones with Tom Holland, were full of that emotion too.
especially No Way Home.
Oh yeah, whenever
Especially
they
the
killed
end.
Aunt May and fucking Green Goblin
the
ran
end.
his fade.
And the end, yeah. Can't forget about that. When he had to say bye to everybody.
Yeah.
Remember when Green Goblin picked him up, body slammed him
Yeah,
through like
yeah.
3 floors? He like threw him
Or
at the ceiling and then
or
He
in
just
the
laughs the whole time.
or in the first movie, Homecoming, when he's crushed under the rubble
and he's like
and he's
crying
asking for help, and then he has
Yeah.
to. I love that shit. But back to Joaquin, he's the new Falcon, and from what I gathered, he just repainted Sam's old gear.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed
Yeah,
like.
so,
It was a repaint.
Also, I knew immediately in that final act, whenever he got shot out of the sky, that they just did that to get him out of the way, so we could just have Red Hulk and Captain
Sam.
America fight. But at the end, whenever Joaquin's in the hospital talking to Sam, I think I caught a retcon. Do you remember in, I think it was the Winter Soldier, when Sam is first introduced, him and Steve meet at like not a funeral thing, but Sam was speaking. He had a speech or something about his time in the Air Force and how he got shot down or something.
No, that was remember they
What
were
happened?
working out.
No. He went, well, that might be where they met, but they also went to, Sam talked about something, like some traumatic event from the Air Force, that his buddy died or something. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that was in
I remember,
not
but
Civil
when they
War, Winter
met
Soldier.
is when they're.
But you know what I'm talking about. That
when
might have been
he's-
when they met, but they were talking about something. But at the end of this movie, Joaquin was talking about, you've never been shot out of the sky. You've never, yada, yada, yada. But he did.
I think
right?
Sam just didn't want to reveal that to him.
Maybe, but he's Captain America, dude. I felt the way that he handled it was kind of odd. He was like, yeah, you should feel bad about it. You have a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Overall, the movie
I
was
can't remember.
wasn't terrible. It was better than Captain Marvel.
You think it was better than Captain Marvel?
Yes, Captain Marvel sucked.
I disagree, actually.
I hated Captain Marvel. I don't like Brie Larson. I don't like.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I know Ethan loves Captain Marvel as a character.
I like her powers.
Big distinction.
I don't
I
like
don't
the
like women.
actress.
No, I'm not even
Brie
talking.
Larson.
I'm not even talking about the actress. I'm talking about like comic book accurate
Oh,
Captain Marvel.
Yes, Captain
Yes.
Marvel in the comic books.
I don't.
is
Yeah, I'm not talking about Brie Larson. I think her portrayal is nah.
It's dry.
Yeah, it is.
Very dry.
But
Well, she's also a girl boss. Like she's got that girl boss personality, so it just doesn't mix well.
yeah,
I think it works well in some. You got to do it right. That's all I got to say. Like it works sometimes. I think in that particular case, it did not. What was I going to say? Was there any other scenes that stuck out to you guys? Anything you liked?
Villain was
particular.
Buster Scruggs.
Oh yeah, if you guys have never seen
the Ballad,
of Buster Scruggs, the same actor, don't know his name. He plays the leader.
Yep. I don't like that name.
The leader. I don't think it was ever said in the.
It's
in
such
the
a
movie.
lazy name.
I think he looked great. Like
He looked awesome,
He looked
yeah.
awesome
It was
because
fucking
he looks
disgusting.
really goofy in the comics because he's got like an elongated forehead, but his like in this movie, his brain is like
You can just see his brain.
see it,
Like
yeah.
it grew through his
he's
skull.
got green eyes or a green eye. He looks cool.
Yeah,
I like the way
the guy that plays the leader is Tim Blake Nelson.
Blake Nelson, and he was in the Incredible Hulk, and they set up him becoming the leader at the very end of that movie. So now we get to see what happened to him. And essentially, Ross kept him as his think tank, so he could make technology and shit. And,
Yeah.
With that big brain.
and that was another plot point with Harrison's Ford character is that his heart was failing him, so the leader made him
Meds.
meds that were traced with gamma. So now he can turn in, and the gamma is like soaked into his skin after all these years. So that's why he can turn into the Red Hulk. And it made it seem like in this movie was the first time he had ever transformed.
Well, they said it soaked into his bloodstream.
Yeah.
The gamma rays soaked into his bloodstream over the prolonged use, and each time he would give him the pills, he would up the dosage, so it was
Yep.
higher and higher and
Yeah.
higher.
This character, Kagan, made it a good point. He was laughing in the theater when this guy was on screen because
He was so fucking cringy, dude. He was so edgy with
his
it.
okay, so half of his dialogue was really cringy, and the other half was solid. His whole plot I thought was good.
Was
He
it the
wanted-
Navy SEAL?
Huh?
Was it the Navy SEAL?
No, the bad guy, the leader.
The leader,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
He was just
I
so
didn't like
like
the Navy SEAL.
he was such like an incel redditor, dude. He was like,
But you gotta remember,
he's like,
though,
you
like,
think you
he's-
know what's going to happen, but I've seen all realities and I know what's coming.
But that's
I've
his
made
character.
The calculations.
I like that it's comic accurate. He's just
Yeah.
like he's a big fucking nerd. like that's
he
just
does
his
have
character.
a huge brain. So.
yeah.
Like
But I
the-
did like his motive. He wanted to, reveal that Ross was a monster too. you
Yeah.
know, after what he did to him. So, but his dialogue was really
cringy
bad a lot of the time.
I feel like the writing could have been better.
That's why
I agree.
That's why I was just laughing because I just hear a line delivery. And I'd be
What,
like,
what line made you laugh?
It was the one. Do you remember? Because I remember the exact line. It
What
was
is-
whenever he said, the Navy SEAL that you were talking about was. He was like, "Who are you?" And he was like, "Isn't it obvious? The hero." And then
Oh.
he kills him.
And I
Yeah.
started. He was like,
That was
He's like,
cringy.
isn't it obvious? The hero.
Yeah.
And he killed. And I was like, you gotta be fucking
Yeah,
kidding.
he was like a
me.
Saturday morning cartoon villain.
If I was the SEAL, I'd be like, get back here. I'm not dying hearing
Yeah.
that.
I would have
shit."
pulled out a gun and just shot him there. Like, just
His heart stopped. He didn't
well,
have
before,
muscle movement.
Before that happened, I just would have. If I saw him, I would have gotten a bad fright
Ah!
from him immediately.
Boom, boom,
Ah! Shot
What
him in
are
his,
you?
Shot him in his gamma head.
I thought it was kind of stupid that every time we saw him up until the end of the movie, when he was in broad daylight, he would wear like a hat and a whole get up. But at the
Sunglasses
end,
and all
At the
that.
end, he just
He was in
didn't have
public.
a hat. Yeah, he was like, "Hey man, how's it going?"
He
Was
kind
that-
of looked like Mojo Jojo to me from
Mojo
Powerpuff
Jojo.
Girls.
Yeah, kind of.
The monkey with the brain.
Monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Mojo Jojo. Yeah.
Mojo Jojo.
He was goofy.
He's
and
goofy.
It was funny to me.
I appreciate the goofiness though,
And I think it was just also the script, the writing
I
was
agree.
so fucking goofy.
but
to
it's
me.
also like characters you have like that are comic accurate. That they try to the best of their ability to make comic book accurate. It's very hit or miss. Like MODOK for me
dude, he was
in Ant-Man Quantumania, he looked
terrible.
really bad, but they tried their best to make it comic book accurate.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
I
one
do
scene,
appreciate the comic book accuracy for like the suits and
yes.
that one
portrayal.
scene where in Quantumania where they like put him in the suit and you see his bare ass. It's like you didn't need to show us that.
He's like,
that wasn't necessary. Or like in the new Fantastic Four is another example. The Thing looks great.
first steps.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Thing
yeah.
looks great. He's the most comic accurate that we've gotten.
I love
And-
the suits.
And everyone's like, he looks terrible. What's with the big unibrow? It's like that's what
how
he looks
he
like.
looks,
in
man.
the comic.
That's what he looks
Yeah.
like in the comics. What are you yapping about?
Yeah.
And they're like, the 2005 suit looked better. It's like, well, the 2005 suit was practical effects.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This one is
it was
not.
like it was, they were in this onesie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and the dude was like suffocating, so they had to install like a tube that supplied air to him, so he didn't.
And
die.
the reboot one, it
Fan
it
Force
didn't
stick.
have an actual
Fan
look.
Force.
It looked like it had tubing and stuff on the outside.
That
Dude
reminded
was,
me.
Dude was just made of he looked like Korg from Dark World.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
Dark World.
I was talking to
Ragnarok.
Kagan about that yesterday. I was like, it's funny that we're ragging on a guy that looks more like rocks than he should because he was really jaggedy. And I was like, yeah,
because Thing is like made of stone, but
Yeah.
he's like smooth, like
Right.
rounded stone, not like jagged, fucking stalagmites.
Like
and
well
slate.
placed, like
right.
he was
Carapace.
sculpted like that.
Yeah, but the other one was just like a bunch of sharp rocks everywhere. He
like
didn't
he
even have,
was summoned from the ground.
he looked like a stone golem. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't have pants on either. He was just a naked stone man.
Hey guys,
That's fantastic. Say that again.
So
It's fantastic.
me and Scissor Hands are going to play Fortnite later. Yeah, we got an extra
Coke?
remote. Yeah, and a Coke.
are you Korg?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Meek's dead. I stepped
Meek's
on him on the
dead.
bridge.
I stepped on him on the bridge.
Oh wait, no.
I call
Meek's
them
alive.
Scissor Hands. His name's Meek.
Yeah. It's like, oh wait,
Scissor hands.
Meek's actually a girl, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
But I think in Love and Thunder it shows her in like a dress suit,
it does.
like a pantsuit with like shoulder
I
pads.
thought it
and
was a
everything.
maid outfit.
No, it was just like a dress suit. But yeah, he's like, oh, Meek, where you from? Oh, Meek's dead. I stepped on him on the bridge and I felt bad about doing it, so I just kind of carried him around. Oh wait, Meek's alive.
Meek's
What was that?
alive.
What was that last thing you said, bro? Yeah, and then Cord just fucking dies in Love and Thunder. He just crumples, gets hit by lightning, dies.
But they keep his head.
Do they?
Yeah.
I haven't finished the movie. I refuse to watch it.
Korg
It's
died.
It's not good. There are good parts. They butchered Gore.
Zeus throws a lightning bolt at him, and he kind of like crumples.
Yeah, but they keep his head. Valkyrie kind of ties his head around, like on the back of her head with her hair. It's weird. And yeah, that fight scene was cool, though. Do you remember that? Whenever they were fighting,
We weren't able to finish watching it. The reel in the theater was messed up. It kept freezing.
oh,
So
it's not good. Don't watch it. But like, it's got good.
it's hot garbage.
It's got good scenes.
fight scenes.
The fight scenes are really good.
And I'm pretty sure the dude that played Gore, Patrick Bateman, I forget his actor's name, so I'm calling him Patrick Bateman.
Patrick Bateman,
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Christian
Bale. Yeah. That's the only name I could think of.
He
off the top of my head.
hates Patrick Bateman.
Does he?
He hates Patrick Bateman.
He thinks people that like him are losers.
Yes.
That's funny. No, I'm pretty sure he hated
No,
this
that's
role.
Ryan Gosling.
He hated this role too, because he was just like, he just was not a Marvel guy from what I know. But it's a shame because I thought Gore was a cool character.
he's
in
great in the
concept.
comics.
Yeah.
He's awesome in the comics, and his character was portrayed well in the beginning of Thor: Love and Thunder, but then they just completely
butchered it.
derail it and
Yeah.
fuck it up.
How so?
I haven't finished it, so
So his sword is supposed to be the symbiote sword,
Necro sword. Yeah.
the Necro sword. No, because that's Null's weapon or something. They didn't have rights or something.
Yeah.
For his sword, which is like a lot of his like what his character is based around, you know. So he had to have a different kind of sword that did similar things but wasn't quite it. And then
I mean, they
pretty much made him a child predator. He steals a whole bunch of children in the movie, and then Thor and the gang have to go rescue the children. And then he's just goofy. Gore's just goofy. They make him a nothing MCU joke villain.
oh, I hate that.
And then at the very end, I mean, at the beginning of the movie, it's great because he's like looking up to gods, he's worshiping them, and then he
He
finally gets
thinks
to this
there's an
oasis.
eternal reward.
Yeah, he gets to this oasis with his
There is
god.
no reward.
Right. And you can see his motivations; they're solid. You
Yeah.
know? That's great. And then all the way through the movie, he sucks. And then at the end, it's like you have this heartfelt moment of between him, Thor, and his daughter, because his daughter's dead and he wants to bring his daughter back to life. They get to this deity. I can't remember her name, but you can bring back a character, a person, and what's her name?
Love.
Yeah, Love. No, Jamie Foster, is that her name?
Oh, Jane.
Jane. Yeah, she's in that movie. She gets cancer. So at the end, it's like you can bring back Gore's daughter, or you can keep Jane alive, and
'Cause-
Jane sacrifices herself, and then Love gets to come back, and now Thor's Love's surrogate dad, and it's
And
a
he
mess.
changes his name
Thor
to
is raising Gore's daughter.
Yep.
And then he changed his name to like Thunder or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
look at
they
every-
butchered that movie.
But
dude. It's
apparently,
not good.
like Jane Foster, she has Mjolnir, and it keeps her from getting cancer. But anytime she turns off her god form, the cancer
It
comes
also
back.
speeds up.
Her cancer, so it becomes super cancer, and she
Super
dies.
cancer.
And I
dies
love that
faster.
plot in the comics. It's great. I mean,
Yeah.
I really liked
I
it.
liked it when Mjolnir was like splintered. Like, isn't that an ability where she has
She can
throw
do that.
it
Yeah,
and
it's
it
fucking
fractures?
awesome. And then it comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
This
thought that
isn't
was
Captain
cool.
America anymore.
just started
so is
rambling.
there anything else you guys want to talk about with Captain America?
I think we discussed pretty much a majority of it.
I am confused on the first Hulk movie because
The
they
Incredible
showed
Hulk?
Yeah,
They showed scenes from that movie and made it even more canon. Unfortunately.
yeah.
I do not like that movie.
I don't either.
Yep.
Yeah, it's canon, but it's not Mark Ruffalo.
No.
so
But
it's
I mean
like-
they don't show
Did they
Edward
just,
Norton.
Are they just going to recast who played Hulk?
no,
They
it's just
did.
going to be Mark Ruffalo.
It's Mark Ruffalo.
It was Edward Norton.
Yeah, so in those flashbacks
That's what I'm saying.
or
Like they're just
in
gonna
those
do away
videos.
with-
Yeah, in those videos that were taken straight from the Incredible Hulk, it only shows the Hulk. It doesn't show Edward Norton.
Yeah.
So we just assume that's Mark Ruffalo. I'm sure that's just what they meant to do with it. But they're not going to recast Hulk again, I don't think. It's just Mark Ruffalo.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they didn't
did that was-
recast the Abomination because he was in.
No, he's in She-Hulk.
Yeah.
They changed the way he looks, but the
He looks
actor is
more
the
like a
exact
fish.
same. He looks more comic book accurate.
Yeah.
But they keep the same actor too from the Incredible Hulk.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why he looks different, but he does.
He's just older.
Yeah. No, not the actor. The Abomination.
Abomination form.
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
I don't
maybe
know why
his
he
form
looks different.
mutates. And hasn't he been training with Wong or something?
Yeah, in Shang-Chi, he was fighting Wong.
Yeah.
Because Wong has that's like his side hustle is like interdimensional boxing or fighting
Hell
or something.
yeah.
Interdimensional cage
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I'm paid to see that
Yeah.
shit.
It was a cameo in Shang-Chi, and then Abomination was in She-Hulk.
I like Shang-Chi. I thought it was okay.
It was good.
I think it's pronounced Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi
I think
is what
they
we...
said
We're white here. We call it Shang-Chi.
I think in the
Shang-Chi.
It's
second-
Shang-Chi.
I think in the second Shang-Chi movie, they're going to put Iron Fist in it. It'd be pretty cool. Don't know if it's going to be the same actor as
I
the
doubt
show. Yeah, probably not.
Well, they brought back
Charlie Cox and
Charlie Cox and
David, not Dave.
the guy that hates naps for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bernthal.
I want to call him
Bernthal.
John
Yeah.
Bernthal.
John
Yeah.
Bernthal.
Yeah, I don't take naps. I'm a grown-ass man taking naps.
I think that's it, though. Yeah.
Overall, I rate this movie a 5.
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
I'll rate it a solid 5, yeah. It was 6 out of 10, but now that we broke it down and analyzed it, it was a solid...
It's worse than I remember. Yeah. Jake's a Marvel glazer. You're only going to hear good things from him with Marvel.
This entire time, it was almost nothing but negative
It
shit,
was also
man.
nothing. I know, I'm just kidding. When we were in
Jake
high school,
does not consume corporate slop, okay?
I was gonna say when we were in high school, Jake was the biggest Marvel glazer I knew. Every day he would come to me with a Marvel fact about like a movie coming out or a show that's coming out. He's like, "Hey man, you know this movie's coming out?" I was like, "No,
You want to know something?
Huh.
I was the same way.
Where you were?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I don't."
Except it was with Marvel and
Okay.
Star Wars.
So I'm going to touch on that in a second. I give it
Be honest.
okay, so
Oh, boy.
I'm going to give it, and this might change on second viewing, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
A 7 out of
I
10?
like it.
That's
I like
too
it because
high.
I enjoyed it. I was entertained. I liked it.
Everyone's entitled to their
Yeah,
opinion.
I'm gonna
even
watch
if
it
they're
again.
Wrong.
I'm gonna watch it again, and then maybe that'll change. But it wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the
No,
worst either.
it could have
was
been better.
It was one of the best MCU movies
In a
since-
while.
Yeah, in a while to me. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm also the kind of person that likes Doctor Strange, Multiverse and Madness. So
I thought that was fine.
people hate it. People hate it.
I'm going to fall in line with Deadpool. The multiverse saga has been miss after miss after miss, and it's just been garbage.
So the reason that I came to you with facts and shit in high school is because I grew, and I know you grew up with these movies too, but this stuff has been going on since 2007.
Seven.
The first Iron Man movie?
Yeah, I grew up with it. I mean, I love these characters, and it's something now that I've stuck to so long. It doesn't matter if it's shit. I'm gonna go see it. you
What's
know?
that white Marvel character? I forget his name, but he has like a crystal necklace, and when he holds it, he can turn into like dinosaurs.
Beast Boy? No, I'm kidding.
No,
I think it's the MCU's Beast Boy, but I don't know who you're talking about.
I always liked him.
Beast guy.
Remember that show Marvel Superhero Squad? It was the kids' cartoon.
Yes.
He was in that show, and I always liked him. I thought his power was cool because he'd just be like Tyrannosaurus head, and his head would turn into a T-Rex head, and then
I do want to acknowledge, though, that although I do really like Marvel as a whole, I can acknowledge that they don't make they don't hit all the time.
this is not a
Miss lot.
banger, and I know
And
bangers.
I know bangers. Hold it for a second. We're almost over. We're almost done.
Better hurry it up, dude. I'm like,
What's that character?
That he was talking about.
Yeah.
oh, we'll figure it out after we're done recording. I have to shit.
Kagan's got a shit, so we have to end it.
God damn it.
Dude, I'm over here like sweating.
Yeah.
Like it's
So I don't know. We do have more Yappetizers planned. This one was actually unplanned. This just happened spur of the moment because Adam couldn't be here.
Adam last minute told us he's going to a party, and we're like,
So
man, okay.
yeah, we have other Yappetizers planned for the rest of the year, but we maybe Ethan Kagan, what do you think? We may come back and do a Yappetizer for Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. Maybe.
I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see Fantastic Four.
I'm excited for Fantastic Four.
Me too.
It looks good.
So we may make Yappetizers on those two, but
Are we making one of the Minecraft movie? I forget.
we might
I think we are.
gonna wear our suits.
Yeah, I think that was decided we're gonna see. You were the one that came up with the idea, Ethan.
no, like I don't want to wear a suit to a Minecraft movie.
I think that's why it's fun. It's the funny, is you dress real nice.
Where's your
for it.
sense of adventure?
Yeah, but it's not like
It's a prestigious film, Ethan.
it's
It's got
corporate
Jack Black
slop.
in
That's
it.
what it is.
Jason Momoa.
Mojang
Jack
was
Black,
like,
Minecraft.
I'm
Have
gonna-
you ever heard of it?
I'm going to throw in some of these well-known actors and actresses, and here's you some slop. Enjoy.
I have a feeling it's gonna
I'm
be.
not going to hire these highly trained animation.
I have a feeling it's gonna be
people.
like a Jumanji situation where they get isekai'd into the game.
Yeah.
It's the only.
Well, no,
logical
they've
way
already
they could
released
do
a
it.
second trailer where Jack Black's character he lives in the real world, but he goes to this mine. I think
Yeah, as an adult, he's like, as a boy, I yearned for the mines.
and he's
then-
transported to this world, the Minecraft world, and he escapes the real world to play this game, and it's so dumb.
Well, I guess we'll have to see, won't we?
Why can't we have the animators for Villager News make the movie?
because animation's expensive.
But yeah, if you guys have seen this movie, tell us what you think. Are you gonna go see it? Do you care?
Please give us feedback.
Yeah, give us feedback. Tell us what you think. Adam's not here to be our plug, so if you're listening to this, you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Music or Apple Podcasts. Sorry, and you can follow us on TikTok, I think, Instagram, and X, Twitter.
Twitter,
Yep.
just Twitter.
I think that's it, boyos.
Yeah, that's it. I've said my piece about this movie, this work of.
Ethan, get off
dog
your phone.
shit.
You're at work.
I'm trying to figure out the name of this character he's talking
Still?
about. Yes.
Well, I guess
Still?
we'll never know.
Bye.